Hey guys, if you're hopping on TikTok, we're live on our YouTube channel looking at an S&P 500 live chart side by side with the tarot reading that we did for the day. And it looks pretty accurate, guys. So we had a rally that ended, a rally along a diagonal trend line ending with a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. We have a trade opportunity early in the morning off of around this low, and then we have a high and a low within close proximity to each other. A little bit later than what I would have expected, but still we have a low and then a high within close proximity to each other, which is what these overlapping correlations between the highs and the lows mean. And then you can see we have another one here and here, right? Same thing midday. So there were some sideways fluctuations, right? After we have a fake out to the downside, right? And then we turn around and we move higher. We have a rally out of the open basically with a little fake out first. Then we have a drop. That's the Hermit card, followed by a move higher, successfully turning resistance into support. So, successfully turning resistance into support. And then we have sideways fluctuations, the change card, followed by the strength card. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. The strength card used to just be a bullish card to me a long time ago, but what it really has in it, innate within it, is a decline card. So when you don't see a decline card before the strength card, the strength card is indicating a decline followed by a move from the bottom of a range all the way to the top of the range out of that decline. That's the important thing about the strength card, is how to read it. If there's a negative card, a decline card in front of it, a bearish card in front of it, it's going to be a move higher out of that bearish energy. If there's no bearish card in front of it, it holds within it that bearish energy because it starts out of a decline. It's important to understand that, right? So we have that strength card out of a notable decline. It's usually a pretty scary one too. We have a move to the upside, that's the strength card, right? Followed by a breakdown to reach support first, early in the morning support, right? And then we have a rally into the last half hour. It looks like we have a rally up higher into the close. That rallies that's going on right now is marking an opportunity to open up a short position or protect against long positions. If you're just hopping on the TikTok, guys, you can follow along with our YouTube channel. We're looking at a live S&P 500 chart in relation to the S&P 500 spreads that we've done with the tarot. So they're side by side when we're just reviewing today's. Been pretty accurate, and basically what we're seeing now on the S&P 500 is a move to the upside into the close, where we'll see a reversal around the close. There may be something to do with on the news having to do with a male ruler of nations. I don't watch the news, so hard for me to verify, but there's a male ruler of nations highlighted here in the post market. And take this opportunity here in the last half hour, in the midst of this move to the upside, to open up a short position or open up a protection against long positions. We're looking at a reversal when we look at the money flow index, right? And we're looking, I mean, we're on the upper end relative to what we've seen around here. On the RSI, we're on the upper end of that, so we maybe go a little bit higher, but in the midst of that, like right before the close probably. Matter of fact, I'd probably do it now. If I was going to trade, I'd probably open it right around now in the midst of this move to the upside before it stalls out. When we look at the 1 month overview, which if you're on the free mailing list, if you go to our website and sign up for the free mailing list on our website, tarotfortraders.com, that's with an FOR, not the number 4. You get the, usually it comes more than a week ahead of time. You get the 1 month overview of the S&P 500. We have roughly a 98% average accuracy with like 30 plus statements each month. Doesn't mean I see everything, but what it does mean is that 9.8 out of 10 times what I say is accurate. You can see we're kind of stalling out here. The low comes out of the low forms when we have a notable decline and there's a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of a period of decline, and that's on a 1 month chart kind of scale. So we've only been going up so far, obviously, or sideways, but with bearish kind of energy, and we're capping out is what's happening. See, we had a high on the first, right? On the 1 month overview, we have a high here on the first. There's another prominent crest on the fourth, but there's a notable drop on the third, guys. And that's what I'm advising people to open up if you want to play like a swing trade, something along those lines. Do me a favor, if you're on TikTok, we're trying to grow that channel. Hit that follow button if you like what you see. We're going to be doing a lot more TikTok stuff. The recordings of all our predictions are always on YouTube. Sometimes when I record the predictions to post on YouTube, I'm recording live on TikTok, so you get it there first when that happens. But I have 22 years of experience in the finance industry. I was a Wall Street broker when I had a near-death experience. Changed my life, left Wall Street, started trading with tarot, among other things. I started investigating with metaphysics and the nature of reality. And everything in my reality, everything happens for a reason. Therefore, I had a near-death experience, came to realize that I had a gift while on Wall Street, like the last place you'd find somebody like that, right? So there was a reason for that. And my understanding, what I believe it to be, is that I'm there because there's so many people lost, focused on the money there. They're not focused on what's important. They don't even believe what's important is possible. Things like that. They're just so blinded by the money, and there's such a concentration of them there. What did they pay attention to? They pay attention to the stock market, right? I happen to know a lot about the stock market, being that I was in that industry. My first day trade was in the year 2000 on E-Trade, when it was the only online broker. That was before even being a Wall Street broker, way before. They pay attention to the stock market. So if you can predict the stock market, then they want to know how you did it, right? How I did it has nothing to do with the news, has nothing to do with technical analysis. It has nothing to do with fundamentals. It has nothing to do with some secret information that somebody told me. There's no insider trading going on. There's no incentive for me to talk about any of these things, other than I want to help people make money, and I want to show them that anything is possible. And guess what, my friends? I predict the S&P 500 by the hour with a 98% average accuracy. I do it every single day. That means almost every single day is 100% accurate, and I'm predicting by the hour. How am I doing that? First, you have to believe that I'm doing that. So go check out our YouTube. We have all of August already predicted and posted by the hour. Ugly up. So check it out and follow here, please. Show us some support. We're going to be launching a Kickstarter either tonight or tomorrow, hopefully. We're just waiting to hear back for approval. The Kickstarter is financial astrology software, basically like a solar fire of the finance charting world. So, I use E-Trade, Power E-Trade Pro for my charts. Or I was using it. So think Power E-Trade Pro crossed with Solar Fire, which is the top of the, it's this industry standard for astrology software all the professionals use. What level should we see SPY in tomorrow to the downside? Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. We have a low at the end of the day. I don't know how I didn't get that correlation there, but that should be there. I'm looking into it, B, FYI. I'm a little quiet for a minute here, but that's because I'm looking to answer your question. I may not be able to answer your question. I don't always get all the information, but I'll look. I don't know why that one's not like that. Damn. towards the end of the day, there's a sharp drop. As far as price level, pretty difficult to determine. Because I think it's a bearish day tomorrow. It's nullified, however, so that's interesting. Somehow it's not going to matter, and that makes sense. So it's a sharp drop tomorrow, but it's not going to matter in the grand scheme of things, because the following day we have a prominent crest, or the 4th or the 5th, and then again on like the 8th or the 9th, there's a prominent crest here. Maybe hit it a couple times. Hey, if you just hopped on TikTok, you can follow us along. We're looking at live S&P 500 chart side by side with our tarot readings. Should we see SPY tomorrow? Downside. We may have a higher level tomorrow and then a drop, but then that Princess of Wands wouldn't logically make sense then. So let's see here. Princess of Wands. There's a congruency, but hard to say, B. I couldn't answer that for you based on the information that I've gathered. I think we probably move higher early in the day. Well, there's so much nullified on this reading for the 3rd. What's making me think there's a sharp drop is a couple things. We've got this unicursal hexagram here. We've got the Fool card after that. I mean, that's a pretty big indication of a sharp drop. Mix that with the theme card being the Ruin card. Completion of a rally in the high position, also nullified. Probably some of this takes place. Well, yes. So we have abundance. So we move higher and then we drop. So we're either going to move higher right in like the post market, or gap up in the post market and then just straight drop, or we're going to have a gap down with like. Oh, it's so hard with that nullified, with the nullified Ruin card. It's really throwing me off here. It's a bearish day for sure. But what's really making me see that drop is the unicursal and the Fool card, and then this little guy right here. I gotta get my dog, guys. I'll be right back. Definitely a move higher. So the second was a move higher through resistance, we stay there briefly, and then we break back down through that same price level shortly thereafter. That's exactly what happened here. We may open higher. It's hard for me to say because there's a resistance level here that it looks like we're going to break through it, but we don't. We turn around and we break through support instead in the post-market or in the pre-market, right? U-shaped dip right around the open, trade opportunity right around the open, and then there's a notable drop out of the open around the open starts. But it's the halting of a bullish trend is important to notate. The Hangman card is the halting of a bullish trend marked by a drop through a significant support level. Right, so there's some bullish energy in here early on, and then we have this abundance card. I'm gonna open up some of the past July ones, like the last week of July, so I can take a look. Yeah, I don't think it's really. I don't think there's. I don't see. I don't see a price level indicator there. I just see a drop. We may open up higher than this. Than like, let's say you buy puts here around the close. We may open up higher tomorrow. It's possible. That doesn't necessarily mean that the price of the puts will be higher. Sometimes there's different things that happen, volatility, and I mean all sorts of things. So that's important to indicate. And what it does mean is that we'll be at a lower point tomorrow at some point than the price level in this last half hour of the day, or this last hour of the day, I should say. See, we've got the Princess of Wands, an opportunity in the midst of a rally to open up a short position. And there you go. It looks like we probably already have that reversal there. In the last 10 minutes, we're moving lower. There's that low correlation right around the close, so that would make sense. And we're getting that reversal. So this was like a precursor to the reversal. Was the Princess of Wands, indicating open up protection against longs or open up some short positions. And then tomorrow, see, this is a bullish card tomorrow, so we have a big move to the upside. But here at the end of the day, we have a move higher. This big blue energy is a congruency between the daily and the monthly. See, end of day, we have the Three of Cups. End of day, we have Three of Cups correlators at the end of day today and the beginning of the day tomorrow. And the Three of Cups is that energy moving higher through resistance, staying there briefly and breaking back down through that same price level. Also looks like there's a drop from a crest here. So we might very well gap up tomorrow. It's hard to say, but we might very well gap up tomorrow and then retrace the full amount, the full move. If we did that, then I could tell you the low would likely be here, around like 412, 12-ish. But it's risky to count on that. It's really risky to count on that because we have the other half of that energy here first thing in the morning. So a lot of bearish energy. There's a little bit of bullish energy in there, but we have a lot of bearish energy. The other half of the abundance energy, basically, the coming back down after being above a price level. This could be that, but I'm sensing more of it. Fourth. End of day, we have art congruency, which is a similar kind of energy to the abundance. It doesn't necessarily, the main difference is it doesn't necessarily break through resistance, sit there for a bit and then come back down, but it is a full retracement of a substantial move higher. There's a full retracement. Like you go up, you come right back down. And that's the art energy that I'm getting at the end of the day on the 4th and early in the morning on the 5th. So if you're on the long side, like this may be a time that'll shake you out. I would rest assured we have a nullification of both the completion of a bullish trend in the high position, which normally would be a very bearish indicator, but it's nullified. And then we also have another normally very bearish indicator here in the theme card, which is like the card that you use to read the rest of the reading. It gives you the overall trend of the rest of the readings, behavior by the hour. But when it's nullified and it doesn't have a correlation to anything here, it doesn't have a correlation to anything here, it's just kind of nullified. It's like an out of place drop, meaning that this end to this completion of a rally isn't really completion of a rally. This sharp drop isn't really a sharp drop. That's how best way I could read a nullification. You still see it in a lot of cases, unless it's something that has to do with like overnight behavior. You still see it, but in some way it's like counteracted. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Canceled out. I mean, it could. Then you're getting in, like, you're getting into like weak. I mean, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Like, you see these like, this yellow band is like translucent. What that indicates to me, in this one here again, translucent. Well, aside from the yellow band, I should say, the yellow band is correlations to the sneak preview card. So you can see there's no correlation there really. Not a strong enough one, but you see here how I have this is a translucent red band. So what that indicates is that the prior day there wasn't any correlation to the low card significator, but I found correlations to it the following day. Sometimes they're relevant, sometimes they aren't. So I put them in like faded, whatever color they represent, translucent, so that I understand it's like not as strong, it's not as reliable of a relationship, but it is there. I call them softer relationships. But to answer your Two of Cups, yes, very much so. That's it. That's right on the money there. First thing in the morning, move to the upside. That's that rally there that we have a halting of with the Hangman card. Remember, the Hangman card is a notably bearish card, but it has innate within it the halting of a bullish trend. So if you don't have a bullish card in front of it preceding it, then it has innate within it a bullish trend, followed by the halting of that with it breaking down through a significant support level. If, however, you did have a bullish card in front of it, then it would just be a halting of that previous energy, the previous card's energy. But 100%, so there's a move, there's correlation to the Ace of Wands sneak preview card here. First thing in the morning with the open card, and then the 10 to 11-ish o'clock card. That's also, it's important to understand, that's also the Ace of Wands is another opportunity of very similar energy to the Princess of Wands. Aces and princesses, they have very, very similar energies. They're both trade opportunities for one thing. So the Ace of Wands is another opportunity to open up a short position or protect against long positions here, in the midst of like this energy here, this encircled by the blue, which the blue, translucent blue, it's basically how I indicate a congruency with overlapping time frames. So like what I mean is there's congruencies on this 1 month overview of the S&P 500. There's concurrencies and strong relationships between things going on there and each of the dailies, right? So we have a strong abundance energy here. When I look at the 1 month overview, I've got the abundance card as number 2, but it appears more towards the end of the day, early in the first thing in the morning on the 3rd. And now that has allowed me, when I do the combination together and I have the time to get into these blue diamonds, I can really fine tune the timing of these things. So like a big stretch, like we had that big stretch of a crest, I see it easily on the 1 year, not so easily on the 1 month, right? So cross-referencing, had I been able to had the time to cross-reference that with the dailies, I would have been able to identify where on the 1 month overview timeline these things are actually transpiring, because the sequence of events is always on point. Sometimes when you get generalized, like each card represents an entire day, when you get that generalized, sometimes there's shrinking and stretching on the timeline. Some cards represent more time than other cards. And here we go, we're really going bearish there. So after we end this live broadcast, I'm going to be releasing ARKK, Amazon, AMC, and if I can get to it, I'm really like low on energy at this point from all these readings I've done the last few days. You'll see like the timestamp on them when I start the videos, like in the middle of the morning, or in the middle of the night, you should say early morning. I may be able to get to Boeing. If I can't do Boeing, if I don't have time to do Boeing for August, it'll definitely be in September's readings, just like I didn't have time to do ARKK in July, so here it is in August. Anything? Yeah, sure thing, man. Appreciate you watching and asking questions. Makes it a lot more interactive. Any other things that you guys want to talk about? Anybody on TikTok that's interested in seeing what we're talking about? We're live on our YouTube channel, Tarot for Traders. Looking at an S&P 500 chart live, side by side with the readings we've done relevant to it, the tarot readings. So you can always check us out there. Before you go there, though, do me a favor and hit that follow button so you get our live notifications here. You get a lot of our readings here on TikTok as they're being recorded live, and then they disappear. You only find them on YouTube or other places, like our website at that point. What's interesting, I find it a little concerning, so I'm going to today run through all of these 1 days again and make sure I didn't miss any correlations. It's going to take some time, but I missed this one. I mean, this correlates to the two of discs very, very obviously. In my opinion, to me it does. The 2, the 3, and the 4 of any deck, basically they correlate to each other. And I just put this on now, so it wasn't there before. Wasn't there before when I did the reading for this. Interesting. Yeah, see, we hit the upper end of the range on the 4th. Significant high there. We have that art card energy on the overview there for the 4th as well. So the third card in the sequence is the art card, and its energy on the 1 month hourly, or excuse me, on the 1 day hourly timeline appears more so like at the end of the 4th and early 5th, where we have a move higher followed by a full retracement. But you can see we're at the end of there's a completion of a rally here. We have a high correlator here as well. It's a very strong correlation to a prominent crest for the month, not necessarily a month's high, but close, very close. Why is it going so slow? Yeah, see, today's peak was usually the 2 of cups and the 3 of cups. Often they'll be indicating like a peak of some kind. Not always, but often. Sometimes you see that with the art card, but not nearly as often. But the strongest high correlations for the month were first thing on the 1st, and you can see we have a high here, then we have another crest that forms. So we'll probably see the same price level again at least once before we go down. It looks like we may even see it again on next week. I have to dig up some of my November 2021 readings because I'm pretty sure there's a reading in there around November 28th where I say, this is your last opportunity to open up protection before the big downturn. I was wrong. There was one more opportunity, but that was the start of the downturn, was the 28th. We had a drop, and then we came back to it, and then we dropped. And in that reading, there was also quite a bit of me naming or listing price levels that we would see in this decline. I thought it was going to happen a lot faster, not over such a long amount of time, but I hadn't looked this far ahead yet on a detailed scale either. Thank you, I appreciate the love. Much appreciated. Oh, that's Jeanette. Oh, hey. Thanks for watching. So yeah, guys, I mean, we're basically right on the ball with what we've been looking at. This card really, or this rune really stands out to me early in the day. Let's look at it one more time here at the dailies. It's about midday. It's a tricky energy there, but I wouldn't be betting on the bullish side. That's for sure. Even if we go up higher tomorrow, I definitely would not be bullish right now. That much is clear to me, for sure. Hey, if you just hopped onto TikTok, you can follow along on our YouTube channel, Tarot for Traders. We're looking at a live S&P 500 chart just closed, side by side with some of our readings. Before you check out our YouTube page, do me a favor and hit that follow button. Share it on TikTok with some of your friends who are looking to grow this channel. We've got a Kickstarter that's imminent to launch. We're just waiting for final approval here. And then we really need everybody's help to make this happen. All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off. Unless you have any more questions, I'll grab some water, and if there's questions, I'll answer them when I get back. If there's questions, I'll answer them. If not, I'm gonna hop off. Thanks for watching. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I'm gonna hop off, but I'm gonna hop back on to TikTok as I'm recording the some of these other posts. I think what I'll do is I'll probably, depending on how long it takes me to get through recording AMC, Amazon, and ARKK, I may have time to mark up and record Boeing. We'll see. But this is the last night for August readings, guys. So let me know if there's something that you want to see for September or October, actually, because I'm doing both September and October before retrograde is upon us. Taking any last questions, guys. Hey, if you're just hopping onto TikTok, we're just finishing up shop. We were live on YouTube, or we still are, but we're about to close up. Live on YouTube, looking at S&P 500 live chart, side by side with the tarot readings that we've done using SO meta-analysis. It's a system that I developed for pattern recognition, using a smaller piece of the great fractal to see a bigger piece of the great fractal, right? You can't see the big pattern because you're inside of it, but you can find the small pattern and then translate it to the big pattern that you're inside of. And that's basically what we do with SO meta-analysis, utilizing entanglement theory, law of attraction, what else? Knowledge of fractal reality. These are all relevant to SO meta-analysis. All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off. If you wanna see me predicting ahead of time, I mean, I'm gonna post these recordings on YouTube, but I'm recording them so you won't see it live. You can see me recording them on YouTube live from the TikTok channel. I will be back in a bit. Thanks for watching, my friends. Thinking questions. All right, we're gonna set up to do recording AMC. I'm gonna go down.